Welcome to the briefing room. I'm your host, Chief David Molloy of the Novi Police Department, and I'm very proud to be joined here today by two very distinguished individuals who serve in our uniform division, Officer Sean Penzak and Officer Bob Minar. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Guys, you guys do a very important job for the Novi Police Department. You guys are both K-9 handlers. In addition to your normal patrol duties, you guys also function as officers who have dogs in patrol. Officer Penzak, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, how long you've been with the organization, and a little bit about what you do with your K-9.
Sure. Obviously, my name is Sean Penzak. I graduated high school from Fraser way back in 1992. From there, I went to Madonna University. Have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I entered the police academy, the Macomb Academy, graduated from there, and then was lucky enough to be hired here in Novi.
And how long have you been serving as a K-9 officer?
I've been a K-9 officer now for almost 2 years. I've been on the force for 5.5.
Great. And Bob, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
I went to high school in Redford, St. Agatha, graduated there in 1999, and then I went on to Schoolcraft College for a couple of years, and then went to University of Michigan Dearborn, finished out my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and then I went to the Police Academy, Wayne County Regional, and then I got hired here on my graduation day.
Fantastic.
Then I went to was chosen for the K-9 program and went to the Oakland Community College K-9 program.
Tell us a little bit about that and how that is structured and the time commitment that's involved in that, and a little bit about the training that you have to do with your K-9 Alex.
Alex came from overseas. He had some previous training over there, and then he was brought over probably in April last year, had some pre-service training with a master trainer, and then the dog was turned over to me in May of last year. We went through approximately 2 months of training, which was a full-time commitment. I didn't work the road one day during my entire training process. It was probably 5 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day that we had to do.
And I suspect since the dogs both live with you, they are actually your house pets. They're part of your family. I suspect there's probably a lot of after-hours training that you also engage in at home as far as commands, discipline, and things like that.
That's correct. It's a full-time commitment.
Yeah. Sean, tell us a little bit about the training that you and Moose have been through.
Moose is 3 years old now. We actually got him as a puppy. We trained him from scratch with my group, the Midwest Michigan K-9 Academy. After approximately a year of training, year and a half, he was able to pass his certifications and become a full-time officer on the road with me.
And yours took a year and a half simply because you weren't able to do that 2 month straight commitment like Officer Minar, correct?
It was he didn't have any of the pre-training, so we actually had to take him and show him everything right from the very beginning up to the finished product.
Outstanding, outstanding. And tell the audience a little bit about the training that's actually involved and what it is that your dogs are actually certified in, because I believe there's narcotics, there's detection of articles, but then there's also tracking. So, Bob, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about the 3 things that your dog's certified in?
Sure. Alex is certified in narcotic detection. He can detect meth, cocaine, crack cocaine, marijuana, heroin, and ecstasy, which is a pretty big compilation of drugs. He is certified in tracking, and he's also certified in article search.
And when you say certification, there's actual certification bodies. Sean, tell us a little bit about how that works, and I know there's a couple different organizations the dogs can be certified through.
Moose is certified through MCOLS, which is our state accreditation. And what it is, it's a series of tests that are actually put together by the state, and these are tests that the dogs have to pass each year. They're monitored and recorded.
And I guess the best thing I think about this entire program is that it's entirely funded and paid for by our state drug forfeiture dollars. So there's really, from the uniforms you wear to the veterinary bills that the dogs that incur that we have to pay for, everything is absolutely paid for with the money that we seize from actual drug dealers. And that's just outstanding. And I got to commend both of you for the time commitment, not only professionally, but also personally with the way that you take these animals home. That has to impact your family, and you know, my congratulations are out to your family as well, and my appreciation for them for all they do. What I'd like to talk about next is you guys actually drive a specialty vehicle. Sean, why don't you tell me a little bit about the vehicle you actually drive and some of the enhanced features it has for the dogs?
We have a Dodge Magnum set up for our canines. Some of the nice features of it, just besides it being a Magnum, which is a different type car, we kind of blend in more with the public. But it's equipped with a kennel in the back, along with a fan, heat sensors, so in the summer, it lets us know if the dogs are getting too hot. In the winter, if the dogs are getting too cold, it's able to notify us so we can take care of it. It also is equipped with a electric door popper, where if there's ever a need and we're outside of our car and we need dog's assistance, we actually have a little remote button that we can push, and the dog will come and help us.
And the dogs are trained, so when they see that door is opening, they know it's go time. It's time to go protect my handler.
Yep, exactly.
And they are very protective of each one of you. And if someone's attacking you and they're within the ability to get out of that vehicle, they're going to be coming to your defense.
Without a doubt.
Bob, one obvious thing is your uniforms are different from that of normal police officers. Can you kind of explain to us why your uniforms are like they are?
Absolutely. We have these subdued patches. What we have these for is when we go out on tracking, or if we're in a building doing a building search for a bad guy that broke in, or any number of situations. These help us blend in more with the scene and the darkness, so we have a better jump on the bad guy, so he doesn't have one on us.
Right, and they're basically like a navy blue fatigue style, and much more because you guys are in and out of that car a lot, and your travels are taking you guys from not only handling regular calls for service, but you're also assisting other agencies, Farmington Hills, West Bloomfield, the Sheriff's Office. Tell us a little bit about some of the successful cases you've had in maybe the last few years, Sean.
I can tell you a little bit about, I guess, some of the tracks that we've done. One of the tracks we did was out in Milford, and when you get out there, it's a different setting than what it is here in Novi.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more open country. We did a track on a suspect that had fled from a car on a normal traffic stop and fled into a wooded area. The Milford police had set up a perimeter around the wooded area, and we were able to get Moose out there and put him on a track where they had last seen the subject. Moose went into the woods and was able to find the guy hidden up in a tree.
Outstanding. And he was responsible for stealing that car?
Yes, yeah, it was a stolen vehicle.
And Bob, I know you were just recently involved in a successful traffic stop. Tell us a little bit about that.
We had one of our officers on the road stopped a vehicle for traffic violation. He had a consent search of the vehicle, and he ended up locating a substantial amount of money underneath the driver's seat. He didn't have really any claim to the money. His story kept changing a bunch of times. Lots of red flags were thrown up in this particular case. What we ended up doing was a money sniff or a money sweep. The money was taken back to the station, hidden in an unknown location, and the reason this was done is because the money was suspected to be involved with drug trafficking. If the money has a significant amount of odor of narcotics on it, the dog will be able to find that money.
And that's hidden in a location unbeknownst to you, and obviously unbeknownst to the K-9, and then you just go in throughout a series of rooms, and obviously Alex was able to locate that.
That's correct.
That's outstanding. And that was just under, I believe, $10,000 that was seized under our state statutes, and to this date, I don't believe anyone's claimed. So that was a simple traffic stop that began by a uniformed police officer, Officer Jenkinson, and then it escalated into a higher investigation, and then obviously the seizure of the money. So that's an outstanding job. What we're going to do is we're going to take a real quick break, and when we come back for the second half of the briefing room, we're going to have K-9 Alex and K-9 Moose for a demonstration. So stay tuned.